Hey guys, this is Mo from the Shaadi Podcast. I'm here with a new face.
What's up? I'm Shiv from Shivs Entertainment.
Why play with me? Don't play with me. This the only thing I love. I love.
And you guys know Saj.
Yeah, I think they know me.
Are you sure about that?
I sure about that.
So guys, as we told you, we got some guests coming up on the show. Our first guest, Shiv.
Thank
from
you so
Shiv
much for
Entertainment.
having me.
Of course.
Pleasure to be here.
Of course.
Finally.
It was a long time coming, man.
Long time coming.
We spoke about you in the first episode, right? And I think it was only meant to be for you to be the first guest as well.
I'm really honored and privileged to be here.
I don't want to pleasure you. I think
I think one of the reason why we started this podcast was us three were sitting and talking about aunties and uncles.
yeah.
And we're like, this needs to be on camera. This needs to be recorded. And
But we still haven't done an aunties and uncles episode
we'll
yet.
get to that episode for you, okay?
Yeah,
We'll get
I
there.
can't wait, man. I'm really excited for that episode.
But I'm glad we are all here on camera.
Yeah.
Finally,
On everybody's.
I'm gonna reach over and
excited
dap
for
you
this.
up.
Let's
That was
go.
cute.
Get this.
Okay, Shiv, first question for you.
Okay.
Since you are established, you've been doing this for many, many years. Very simple, very basic question. Why is it important for couples and families to have a good DJ entertainment company there?
Think about it, man. At a wedding, specifically, right? You've got entrances, you've got performances. So we're talking about the basics. We're starting off with the basics. You want to make sure, for one, that your DJ plays the right song at the right time for the right performance. Right song for the right entrance. So this is basic stuff, right? Also, personally, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think a few years after the wedding is over, a lot of people don't remember what venue they were at. A lot of people don't remember what the decor looked like. Video, photo is very important. Mo, you do it, right? You're capturing the memories. But I feel like when you ask people, yo, what do you remember about this wedding? They're going to be like, if they had a good time or not. Who's in control of that? Your DJ's in control of that.
I'm in control.
No,
You're in control of, you're in control. You're in control of capturing the memories that the DJ is creating on the dance floor.
Okay.
I love
Right?
that answer.
That is very important. Now, if you've got a DJ who on the dance floor just doesn't bring the energy to the room, doesn't bring the energy to the dance floor, for some reason isn't vibing with the crowd, isn't playing the right music at the right tempo, the right time, he's not building that momentum in the room, people aren't going to have a good time. You don't want people to leave your wedding thinking, man, I didn't have fun here. I just did not enjoy the music on the
That's
dance
true.
floor. I didn't have a good time. That's what they're going to talk about. There's two things that I've noticed a lot of people talk about after the wedding is over. Was the food good? And was the DJ good? If they're not having fun at the wedding, I feel like the whole purpose of the event, it's a big day. Two couples, two families are coming together. So you want to make sure, man, that you have fun. It's a memorable event. And I know all the vendors coming together make it a memorable event, but I feel like making that event fun, lively, energetic, that's the job of the DJ. So I feel like, unless you're really thinking, yo, I'm not going to dance at my wedding, we're not going to have a dance floor, don't hire a DJ, don't waste your money on it. But if one of your main goals is, yo, I like to dance, I like to party, I want to have a good time, DJ brings the party.
I agree. Couldn't
Yeah.
agree more.
I'll take that. So I know we jumped into the first question right off the bat. I want to know a little bit more about you, Shiv. Who are you? What is Shivs Entertainment? Tell me a little bit about you guys. Tell our audience, this may be the first time they're hearing about Shivs Entertainment. I highly doubt
I
that.
think that everybody's heard of Shiv
Yeah.
Entertainment in the DMV at least.
But tell us a little about yourself.
I got into DJing at a very young age. I used to play guitar, drums, different instruments. Growing up, I was always into music in general. I took 6 years of lessons, started with different bands as a kid, right? Just messing around. And then my parents, they used to throw parties. They used to throw events. And I was 10 years old at the first party. It was a Diwali party where they hired a DJ. And I was like, I was a kid, I saw the lights, I saw the setup. I saw the
How old
sound.
were you at this point?
I was 10 years old. And I'm like, man, this is cool. And this guy's playing music. Everyone's having a good time. And he's making money. So I was like, you know what? I'm probably never, honestly, I played guitar. I was never a really good guitar player to a point where I was like, yo, I can make money doing this, right? So I was like, you know what? I want to do something related to music and still make money. I had a love for music. I had a passion for it. So I wanted to get into something for my career lifelong where I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm working. I want to do something that I love. I love everything about music. I love sound. I love lights. I love parties. You know, I love celebrations. So I was like, you know what? I remember talking to my dad. I was like, Dad, I want to get into DJing. Growing up, my dad was really business minded. He always taught me, he's like, you know, be an entrepreneur, be your own owner. You want to do something, you know, you can go to college, you can get a job. That was always an option, right? He said, but if you don't want to do that, then you got to make sure that you get into something that not only you love, but you know you can pursue and still pay your bills off of. So I was like, okay, let me get into DJing. I remember it was a family friend I had. It was a small birthday party, 40 people, very small occasion. And they said they're looking for a DJ. And my dad being great, God bless him, right? He's always supported me from day one. He's like, oh, my son's trying to get into DJing, right? So let me have him DJ your event. He lined up the party. I remember I didn't have one piece of equipment. I didn't have a mixer. I didn't have any music. I didn't have speakers, but we lined up the event. I knew I had like 3 or 4 months before the event's coming in, so I started preparing. We went out. I remember I bought, back in the days, Best Buy in Reston, they used to have a pro audio section. I didn't even know Guitar Center existed. I wish I went there, right? But we went to Best Buy Pro Audio. We met some sales guy over there, and we're like, okay, I didn't even know what I needed to get. And I was so young. And my dad, he wasn't into the DJ entertainment industry, right? He ran different businesses, but he wasn't into this industry. So he helped me as much as he could, but I kind of had to figure out on my own what I need to get. So I knew I needed a deck. I needed a mix. I needed some mixer, a controller, turntables or something. So there was a Newmark mix deck. Bought that. The Newmark mix deck is a universal controller. I think it was like a $650 controller. It takes CDs. It takes USB. It takes laptop. Got that. I got 2 little $350 set Samsung speakers. I think you have them sitting at...
I still have them at Silk. This is what, 10 years?
Yeah. You have them at your venue. Little speaker system. Comes with a little built-in mixer. Got my cables, XLRs. Got a little wired mic. And I thought, got some stands. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Let's go. Let's rock this out. After that, went home, opened everything up. And I spent hours in my basement. I would come home from school. I would sit there and I was like, okay, let me figure out how to get my laptop connected. A long story short, I never figured out how to get my laptop connected to this mixer. So I was like, you know what? Let me try the CDs. Burned a bunch of CDs. Even that I didn't know how to do. So I learned how to burn a bunch of CDs, got a bunch of Desi songs, Bollywood songs, put them on CDs, made my little, my CD holder, organized it. And I was like, okay, I think I got the music down. I know I can play the music through the CDs. Messed around with the controller a little bit. I was at a point where I could play the music on both the decks. To me, I was satisfied. I was like...
And you were what, 10 years old?
I was 10 years old.
Man, that's crazy.
Believe it or not, I have a picture to prove it, right? A lot of people don't believe it, but I was 10 years old.
Send us that picture.
Yeah,
I'll put it on the
I'll send you the picture. And I was like, okay, I can play music on this deck. I can play music on this deck. I got my speakers connected. I learned how to run the cables. I was like, I'm ready. Party came into place. We had this little dance floor light. And, the dance floor light, it wasn't working. The motor or something was broken in the day of the party. My little brother Vish, who's also now my partner, Shivish, right? Shiv and Vish. Vish's job was to be on the light because we had to keep pressing this button on the back just to get the light to work. It wasn't like on an auto mode or sound mode. We couldn't figure any of that stuff out. So I was there DJing, playing music. I had my big sunglasses on. I thought, DJs, they got to dress cool. They got to look hip. So that was my look for that day. But played the music, got through it. And obviously it was a family event. So I was a 10-year-old kid. I probably sucked. I know I sucked, right? I didn't do a good job. I couldn't mix, couldn't beat match, but it was enough to play the music that I had at least.
People dance?
People danced.
People had a good time?
People had a good time.
That's all that matters.
And they were really supportive. They showed a lot of love.
That's good. So with brown families, doctor, engineer, or IT. But I'm glad your parents and family were supportive of that.
Yeah.
And, if it wasn't for that, I think for all of us, we would not be here today.
I'm very blessed in that matter.
Yeah,
that
true.
because my daddy's been through a bunch of different jobs and careers and businesses, and he said, Shiv, you can become successful in life as long as you love what you do, then you put your 100% towards it, and you become the absolute best at what you do.
100%.
The money will follow, right? If you're chasing the money, you're chasing that check. You're never gonna be happy in what you do. You're never gonna be improving in your craft. So if you love what you do and you know you can constantly improve on it, then the money will follow.
So why do you find enjoyment in DJing and music in general? Like, what is it that drives you towards it?
It's just that energy that comes with it, right? I mean, think about it. When you're just sitting at home sometimes, or you're in a bad mood or something, you listen to some good music, all of a sudden your mood changes, right?
That's true.
There's a science behind it. Music can change not only the mood of the dance floor, but your overall mood as a person, right? If you listen to the right music, and there's also keys. I don't know if you've heard of the Camelot key, right? It's a wheel. Different keys of music can bring different energy to a different kind of person. So if you're depressed, you're listening to sad music, it'll make you even more sad,
yeah.
right? If you're in a good mood, you're ready to party, and you're listening to some party music about drinking, it'll put you in that mood. If you're just in a chill, I'm doing some homework, and you're listening to some soothing music, it'll calm you down. That's the science behind it. That's what music does. So I was always like, man, music, this can change. You can control somebody's mood. You can control somebody's outcome, how they act, just playing what you do. And I know I've always been into instruments. I've just found it interesting. So I was like, you know what? This is the career I want to stick with.
How long have you been doing this for? So you started when you were 10.
10, so about 12 years now.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm 22 now, so about
That's
12
what's
years
up.
now.
That's the first time he said that his age on camera, by the way. His age has been 28, 27 for
Yeah.
the last few years.
Always had to, act older,
Of course.
because for some reason, especially in our Desi industry, they don't really judge you based off of what you do or your work. The first thing they're gonna ask is, how old are you? How long have you been doing it? If you tell them you're 50, you could be a prodigy, you could be the best at what you do, but if you're 15 years old,
Yeah.
I don't know, right? Like,
Yeah, what is it up with both of you guys lying about your ages?
I've never lied. I'm 28.
Yeah. You're
I'm
crazy.
telling you,
Wilding out here.
that's what it was. When you're so young getting into this industry,
This is 100% why I do it too. I've had, I thought I booked the event. At the end, they're like, how old are you, by the way? And when I said 19 or 20, they're like, oh, how will you do it? And that just, it destroys it. The closing line turns into completely something opposite. And that's why I've had to lie about my age. But luckily now, after my experience shows off for it, and same with you, I think we've passed that.
You
now.
both are mature for your ages. I'll tell you guys that. So
I
props to
appreciate
you
that.
both of you guys.
But yeah, like you said, when you're getting into this industry, it's a cutthroat industry. It's not like, bro, but if you think about it with any industry, really, even IT, if you're a 14, 15-year-old, but you're really good, with cybersecurity or whatever it might be, you're just really good at it, you're still 15. People might judge you based off of your age.
80% will. 20% will give you the chance.
There's a lot of young kids out there that get picked up by big companies because they recognize the talent.
Yep.
They're not looking at the age, they recognize the talent, but that's not always the case. And in the wedding industry, I don't really blame people because it's your big day. Hopefully
Once
you're
in a
only getting
lifetime,
married once,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
even if you're not getting married once, hopefully you're marrying that person for that one time. So you don't want to mess up your event. And if you have a young kid, 12, 13 years old, you're hiring as your DJ, yeah, you might have some doubts. I would. I mean, I completely understand. So sometimes for us, guys like us that are so young getting into it, yeah, you have to lie about your age.
Yeah,
You show them what you can do, then you tell them how old you are.
that's true.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment yet that has come from this career?
My biggest accomplishment, I would say, is one, growing up, the artists that I've listened to, I've looked up to, Bohemia, Sidhu, rest in peace, right? Guys like that, Fetty Wap, the fact that we used to listen to them, we used to look up to them, being able to DJ with them, being able to DJ for them live at a concert. I think that's one really big accomplishment. It's also the team that I've put together. I couldn't do what I do without my team, right? Being my dad, my wife, Amna, the DJs that I've got, Roel, Vish, Samooz. Frick, I don't even remember everybody's number. Samooz.
Ricio.
Peter,
Yeah, you have a
Danny.
really good team.
Yeah, the team is growing. Danny, everybody, the team that executes what we do, Jatin, everybody, that execute what we do on a daily basis, help me put putting that team, creating that family, I feel like is a really, really good accomplishment for me.
No,
'Cause
you're big about family too. That's one thing I respect about you. Like anytime we've done a barbecue, anything like that, it's an entire family vibe. It's not just, a bunch of people hanging out.
Nah.
It's been family 100%.
Of course, bro, always. Rahul, got to mention Rahul, right? All these guys that we've got, we're family, we're brothers. I say that to anybody that signs to our company. I'm like, you're not my employee. You're not just my DJ. You're my brother. We're going to treat you like family. We're all going to come together. We're going to support each other. The fact that these guys commit, years of their time and their career to me, I feel like that's a really big accomplishment that I've established myself to a point where these guys put their trust, they put their time, they put their love, they put their hard work into what we're doing, what my goal and dreams are, and we come together to execute that dream and make it actually happen. So that I really feel like, other than obviously the artist concerts, right, that we've done, but the team that we've put together, I feel like it's a really big accomplishment. And
That's a good answer. I love that.
The family that we've created. Can't do it without them, right?
Yeah. So enough about you. So we are the wedding podcast after all. So we got to talk a little bit about Shaadi Podcast.
Podcast.
So we are the Shaadi Podcast. So talk to me about weddings. Like, what's your most memorable wedding that you've had in the last 3 years?
Shoot, there's been a lot. But one that comes to the top of my head right away is Jeremy and Shimoni.
Oh my god.
Simone, right?
Yeah, that was a memorable wedding.
That was a really memorable wedding.
Was that at White's Ferry?
It was at White's Ferry. And, one of the biggest reasons is because it's just not only the energy that the whole family brought, but the love you could see between the couple and how Jeremy was like incorporating the culture.
His dance, I will never forget his dance moves.
Dude, he was doing better than like they see, Bhangra, Bollywood, the dance choreography that he had put together. I was like, man, I haven't seen like some of our own guys do stuff like that. Bro, you're a better dancer than I am. And I'm just like, and what he did for her and what she was like, the love she had for him, and just seeing both families come together with so much love and happiness. And you'll be surprised, a lot went wrong at that wedding, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can share what happened. The decorator unfortunately called out the night before. It was like, 12 a.m., 1 a.m.? Yeah. And
it's funny. We were still at the wedding. Sorry to cut you off, right? We were still at the wedding, and I was packing up. We're leaving, and I was telling Jeremy, I was like, bro, I'll be up late. I'm usually up till 3, 4 in the morning. If there's anything that you need at all, right, just let me know. Just give me a call. And he said it himself. He's like, man, I'm there thinking, like, why the hell am I going to be calling this guy at 3 in the morning? Like, for what reason? Surprisingly, we get home, we unload. I'm about to literally walk inside my house. I'm parking my cargo van, and I get his call. He's like, Shiv, the decorator just backed out. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. So shout out Samooz at the time. Shout out Dharma Events, Bobby Paji. I called them at 3 in the morning. They were just finishing an event. They come out. I call them. I'm like, look, couple, the decorator, they had an issue. They backed out. So anything that you can do. This guy, Jeremy, talks to Jeremy, calls him, puts together the whole decor for the next day.
Next morning.
Next morning.
This was at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, 4 in the morning. And then what time did the wedding start? Like,
it was early in the morning.
Early.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Puts it together, gets everything loaded, executed.
They were there at White's Ferry Manor around 8 a.m. setting up.
Within like really last minute, just to make this happen. And then there's other events where stuff like this has happened, but I feel like the couple just really doesn't.
You could see the love on Simone and Jeremy's face. You could see the dance moves that they had put together, the energy and everything they have put together, and that's gone into that event. That's what the people in the event make it memorable.
And they do. And the appreciation and love they show to us in general, all their vendors, just like anyone that made this come together, they treated us like family. And that's the biggest part. When you're DJing somebody's wedding, a lot of times, I know we're a vendor. We're not part of the family all the time.
But you feel like you are, though, right? At the end of the wedding and all that?
Yeah.
Like, you spend 10, 15, 20 hours with them, like, over a course of a weekend.
Longer, man. That's just the event. But think about
the 6 months of planning.
6 months of planning, coordination, constantly talking to them, putting everything together. And it's just like for almost like, all these months, you've been talking to them, working with them.
As a planner, I've seen some fights that I feel like, wow, am I part of the family now? Like I shouldn't, if somebody out of the family should not be in this room right now, but I am here, so it does.
Yeah, you get that feeling.
Yeah. Mo, it's funny to think about, man. It's crazy how much more your vendor will do when you actually not just pretend, but you actually do treat them with the same respect and love that you would your own
Yo,
family.
100%.
Sometimes it's not about the money. Because when we're treated right as vendors, we're like, yo, we're
We'll
going to
go
go
the extra mile.
extra mile for you. If there's something that happens, something that goes wrong, we're going to go the extra mile for you because of the way you're treating us.
I think that's because we all love what we do. We don't do it for the money.
Yep.
That's fact. You know, yeah, obviously we've all got bills to pay. So, you know, we can't do what we do for free,
Of
or we
course,
would have,
yep.
right? If I had multi-million dollars sitting in the account, I wouldn't have charged to do what I do. I would have still done it, and I would have done it just to, you know, make people happy. But unfortunately, we do got bills, costs, all this stuff that we got to make happen. But we also run into a lot of clients, Edge, and you know this, dude, that just don't treat us.
So in that case, what's your worst story? You don't have to share names on this one.
My worst story,
in
and
the last 3 years for you. However, that comes.
I
to
actually
your
have two,
mind.
right?
Okay.
So since I'm not at every event, but I book a lot of events for my other guys, I have two. One, my personal experience. I was DJing for an event where I'm killing the dance floor. I've been working with the bride and groom. You know, Amna, she works to get their must plays, do not plays, all this. We put together the plan. We've done multiple Zoom calls. Day of the event, you know, we're putting together, I'm DJing for the dance floor. All is going smooth. Everyone's having a good time. And one of the guests requests a song. And I had just played this song. I'm not the type of guy to be like, yo, I'm not going to play your request, right? But I just played the song. So I politely said to him, like, yo, give me like 2-3 minutes, right? I'll play your song again. I don't have a problem with it. And he's getting mad. No, I need you to play my song right now. I'm like, bro, please, just give me 2 minutes. I'm trying to, like, and the problem was I was up on a riser. He's back here. So I'm trying to do what I'm doing and then turning back to talk to him, right?
Yeah.
And it's distracting what's going on. There's 100 people dancing right now, right? So, no. Then he pulls my DJ off of the stage. I had Samir with me, pulls him off of the stage, and he's like, play my song right now or else, right? Almost trying to threaten a fight with us. Obviously, at that point, right, like, I'm like,
No, he was trying to throw hands?
He was trying to throw hands, and he's got a big group of people with him.
All over a song.
All ready to throw hands over a song. Yeah. Which, at that point, I'm sorry, I know people might have different opinions with it, but the DJ that's doing your job, at that point, you're threatening me at a physical level. So, you know, I turn around, and I'm just like, bro, like, please back off. You know, like, I'm not going to be polite. I've been trying to be polite. I'm not going to be polite to you anymore. The funny thing is, after all that, right, end of the day, the couple still comes back and blames me, saying that I acted unprofessionally. Mm-hmm. I should have played the song right when it was played. Now, look, like I said, it's your wedding. I'm not going to be the type of guy to not play the songs that your guests are requesting, but we're not a jukebox. We're DJs. You're hiring a DJ that knows what he's doing to not just cater for one person, to cater for everybody, make sure everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you're an artist, right? You hired this person to take care of that particular art. Sure, you made a request. We got you. I told you, hey, we're going to start playing it. But trust me to play it when it makes sense and all that. Right? I mean, I can't imagine you're playing a slow song and next thing you know, you want to put up like a really hype, upbeat song.
Exactly.
You can't just mix that together, right? You got to have a flow to it.
The most messed up part about this situation was there was a live band at this wedding that played right before I did. And the guy that was requesting the song trying to fight me was the leader of the live band. So he had just been performing himself at this same wedding for the last hour where nobody said nothing to him. You're singing. Imagine me coming up to you while you're singing, grabbing your hand, trying to pull you down. Yo, sing this song right now, right? That's not going to happen. But when the DJ's on decks, people assume, yo, I'm going to tell him to play a song and he's going to play it right away. Or he's already played a song. I want him to repeat it for the next 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, there was one story where in Texas, I think in Houston, they beat up the DJ. A bunch of crowd was drunk, and they beat up the DJ. They physically beat him, gave him a black eye, and put him in the hospital because he did not play his song.
That's crazy.
Song.
They pulled guns on him at the end of the night, you know, like, and imagine, you know, he's doing his job, man, you know, and to get physically, like, you know, get physical with your DJ like that, to threaten his life, you know, you're putting his life in danger.
They did put him in the hospital. He was in the hospital.
I don't think he went to the hospital, but he definitely, the police and everybody came because they were threatening to actually, you know.
That's wild.
That's a little
crazy. Wild. I'm glad, you know, that's not something we got to deal with on a regular here in the DMV area.
No, it's like
It
1%.
happens. The thing is, it happens in the DMV area too. I mean, that was one of the stories I've shared.
I've personally seen a fight at Silk go down. You heard about it? Poor guy. They actually like punched him and beat him up because he didn't play their song.
No, Mo, this is one of many stories that I'm telling you.
DJs legit go through this regularly.
It's pretty common.
Like I've had people get upset when I
them.
tell them, "Hey guys, I need a couple of minutes to come take your photos because I'm getting ready to do something with the bride and groom." They get angry about it, but this is like next level.
No. It might have not been common, but it's getting very common. The thing is, this things happen in India. I don't know if you hear about DJs actually getting shot because they didn't play.
I've heard this like in Canada and all the areas like that.
Man,
I never knew it happened this much here.
It's happened to Vish. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of my other guys.
Well, I hope we can use this story that you're listening to, guys, today. We're humans too, and we are doing our job that you've hired us to do. And I've had to tell as a wedding planner to some auntie that wants to come give a speech randomly. I'm like, ma'am, you're not in the program. I have to ask the couple or the family members that if you're allowed to give a speech because I don't know you. I understand that you're your mom's best friend, but if they don't want you to speak at their wedding, that's not going to happen. They've tried to fight with me. So just the couples have spent a lot of money and planned a lot of things that go into their big day. So trust the vendors, trust us to know what we're doing, and just chill,
Respect
and
people as
don't
people.
fight. It's a day of love.
Yeah, it's somebody's event that you're ruining. Second, we're all human, man. I mean, come on, just be a good person, bro. You're not gonna go fight somebody at a restaurant, because they're not giving you what you want. Yeah. And there are people that do that, but come on, bro. Like, end of the day, DJing is a job. It's an art, and the person that you've hired has put years into improving that craft, putting out what he's doing, and months planning with the couple what they want, they don't want. Let him do his job.
All right. So let's bring it into more positive light now, right? So being a DJ, being, in the wedding industry, what part of the wedding is your favorite to DJ?
The dance floor.
The dance floor?
The dance floor.
Why?
That's where I really get
just
to
like
do
really the energy. Is that what you get your drive on?
That's where we're actually DJing. We're actually mixing. We're using our own creativity to see what song blends with what song's coming up next, building the energy in the room. That's when we really get to do what we do. That's real DJing right there.
So you're going to mix me intro for this podcast?
Sure, bro. I got you.
You got me?
Say less.
I need it by tomorrow.
We'll get it 5 years later.
I need it by tomorrow.
As long as I get the pictures I've requested you for.
I got you.
I like that. That was good.
I'll get you the pictures tomorrow if you give me the mix tomorrow.
There you go. Let's go. Let's do it.
So what's your favorite part about the wedding? I don't know if I've asked you this.
So my favorite part of the wedding, I honestly enjoy, from a creative standpoint, the couple's photo shoot, right? Because that's where I can be creative, right? This is toward like how a DJ is mixing and all that stuff. This is where I got control over lighting, what's going on, how I'm posing them and all that stuff, right? Once the event starts, I'm kind of at the liberty of whatever they have.
Aunties are bothering
exactly,
you.
Right? So I can, mid entrance be like, yo, I need you to pause right there, move my lights around and all that stuff, right? So from a creative standpoint, I'd say probably the couple shoot. From a just in general, I would probably say first dances, father-daughter dance, mother-son dances. I find the most enjoyment because it's so sentimental at the same time, right? So I really do enjoy those.
You don't enjoy the dance floor?
I love the dance floor, but from a photography standpoint, right, it is just mad chaos. My camera's getting bumped into by 50 other people. Then I'm just like, yo, I want to jam out to this as well. I got cameras in my hand and all that stuff. So, it's as fun as it is. I honestly, I enjoy it, but I usually enjoy it more once I put the cameras away.
True. So if you've got a really good DJ with a lit dance floor, you're not going to have fun.
No, of
He
course
said
I'm gonna
that
have
in
fun.
the last.
I'm going to join you guys. My pictures may be a little blurry, but I'm going to be jamming
Did we
out on
release
it.
that episode yet?
I think that's coming out next week.
Yeah, if you want nice pictures, don't hire.
No,
a
I
good
think
DJ.
you released it. I saw it.
You saw it?
Maybe I saw
No,
it.
that was.
behind
I think it should be releasing this week. So
next week.
No, so the one releasing this Friday, we'll have that in there.
Okay.
Last week we talked about, or the episode prior to this, we talked about planning.
Anyways, you guys can plan that out later, right? But
so Shiv, we got your favorite moments as a DJ and all. What's one tip when a client's shopping for a DJ? Like, what is like that one golden rule for when you're looking for a
Doesn't
DJ?
have to be one. You just share some tips that you think
Or
are
some
really
insight that would help you with booking, that would help our clients with bookings.
I would say number one, look at their response rate. Because there's a lot of DJs out there that aren't doing this full time. And there's also a lot of DJs that are doing this full time that are other events. So they can't necessarily pick up your phone or respond to your emails as quick as you want. So I think response time is really important. Is your DJ getting back to you on time? Even with the initial inquiry process, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you're going to message a DJ, you're trying to hire them for your event. You might not hear back from these guys for 4 days. I feel like that's a red flag, because if they're not responding while you're initially inquiring this DJ company about your event, and it's taking them 4 days to respond, that's something to think about, because when the actual event is booked, they have their deposit in, how long is it going to take before I hear back from them about, the timeline or general questions or stuff like that? So see if your DJ company, whoever you're hiring, do they have somebody designated to do stuff like this, respond to emails, respond to phone calls? I feel like that's the professionalism behind it, right? Behind the scenes, before you even get into the event. Second thing, obviously look at, I know a lot of people really don't know this, but DJs need to know how to mix. When you're hired, what does DJ stand for? Do you guys know?
Disc jockey.
There you go. Disc jockey,
Okay, I didn't
right?
know that.
Got it.
DJ stands for disc
I'm
jockey.
old though.
Why does it stand for disc jockey? Because back in the days, DJs used to spin on turntables, right? We didn't have Serato or all these softwares, or all their music on the laptop. There was actual records that people used to bring in. So there's a lot of DJs, and I'm sorry to say I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of DJs out here that have the software, which has made it really easy. They have the controller. They've got the money to buy the equipment, but they don't know how to DJ. They don't know how to mix. Ask your DJ. I think something is always good to do, right? Ask your DJ, man, if I was to give you 2 songs, can you play these 2 songs at the same time? Can your DJ play 2 tracks at the same time? That's a really important question, I feel like, to ask. Because if he can't...
So I'm going to interrupt real quick. How
Please.
can I preview a DJ if I've never gone to a wedding?
Ask for his mixtapes. Live mixtapes. That's key. A lot of people can put together stuff on Ableton or... different softwares we've got, but ask them for a live mix. All our Serato softwares, all softwares allow you to hop on decks, record a live set, or ask for a live demo. Our company does live DJ demos. I've got a lot of clients coming into the warehouse where they're like, hey, I want to see the DJ spin live. We'll set up the showcase. We'll have the DJ there, and he'll spin for you live in person.
And you have community events all the time where guests come too.
You can do that. Go to a public event, see them spin live, and then one thing you want to if you're going to an event live, watch out for this. Every time the DJ transitions a song, are people stopping on the dance floor? Are they taking a quick pause while the next song is coming in? Can you tell that the next song is coming in? If it's a really obvious, messy transition, I wouldn't hire that DJ, because he might not necessarily. This is a basic 101 of DJing. You need to know how to mix, beat match. If your DJ can't do that, yeah, he might be a great MC. He might have the best of the best equipment. But if he can't mix, your dance floor is going to sound really messy. You know? Another thing is obviously crowd engagement. I think that's really big. Is this DJ engaging with my crowd?
That's very important.
You know, is he picking up the mic? He might not be the best MC, but is he picking up the mic, getting people engaged? Sad, you've seen this a lot of times. You know, some DJs, they'll start playing the music when the dance floor starts. 9 o'clock dance floor is open. They'll start playing music real loud on the dance floor, but nobody's getting up out of their seats. What is he doing to get people to get up and get onto the dance floor? Does he have tricks down his
Sleeves.
his sleeve, right? Sorry. Down his sleeve to get people up on the dance floor or not?
Got it. So awesome. Those 3 tips, absolutely great. So from inquiry, right? So you got a new inquiry, right? You get the lead. What is one thing that you would love to see more when clients are reaching out to you?
Tell us exactly what you want. Don't just tell me, hey, here's the date of the event. Are you available? What's your rate?
I mean, I wish that was with all of us.
No, but that is I've had so many people message me.
Especially on Instagram.
First question is, what is your price?
What is your price?
Yeah.
We don't have just a set rate, right? We charge by the event, number of guests. And people ask me all the time, why are you asking me how many people are coming to my event? Okay, if you have 300 people and I'm pulling up with one speaker, that's not going to cover 300 people. The sound's just not going to do it. So I need to know how much sound equipment that I need to bring to your event. Let me know how many guests you have coming. Give me the exact timings. Let me know if you've got equipment in different rooms. A lot of times people will be like, oh, our ceremony, our cocktail hour, our reception, everything's happening in the same room. You don't need multiple sets of speakers. But that the day of or the week before when we do the walkthrough, right? Oh, ceremony's happening all the way on this opposite side. Cocktail hour's happening over there. Reception's happening over here. Every room has a different number of people that are going to be coming. It's all at different times. Dude, we're as DJs, I don't know, other DJs might do it, but we're not just bringing one set that we're bringing from event to event. When we go in early, if we have a ceremony in a separate room, we have a cocktail hour somewhere else, we have a reception somewhere else, we've got separate set for every room, and everything is being set up before the event even starts. So if I've got a ceremony starting at 9, as long as I have access to the reception hall, I've got a team setting up my reception. I've got a team setting up the cocktail hour. So for us, not just for us, but for your clients, you don't have people running around with all the guests over there with their equipment going from one spot to the other. Everything's preset. It's looking nice. It's looking clean. All you got to do is you got to go from the ceremony. Cocktail hour is already set. You have a mobile barat before the ceremony. It's already set.
Make it easy.
You know, make it easy. Make it smooth.
Make it professional.
Make it professional. You know, that's another question people should ask. Do you have multiple sets of equipment? Or are you just running 2 speakers and 2 subs that you're bringing to all these events? You know? Also, I think a really important question is, not that this really makes a difference, but are you in this full time or not?
I think it makes it a big difference
I
for
agree.
that top tier clientele. I think it makes a big difference.
Are you hiring a full-time DJ or not? I know I kind of
Any
mentioned this a
vendor. I
little
don't
bit.
even think it's about any. I think it's the difference between what you were talking about earlier, having a 4-day turnaround time. You know, when they're managing family, work,
Yep.
DJing,
Yep.
other events, getting back to you. You know, all, like when they're trying to manage all that stuff. 4 days doesn't sound too bad when you think about it, right? But a full-time DJ, a full-time planner, full-time photographer, I can normally have a quote proposal in and out, have a conversation all within 5 hours,
Same day.
right? Same day.
Usually, as soon as a client calls me, I'm calling them back. If they're asking me for a proposal, within, like you said, an hour, 2 hours, it's there. Unless we're out somewhere. And if I'm out at an event, we always have somebody that's behind the computer ready to call. You can call, you can get a proposal. Our proposals are still going out on the weekends while we're out DJing because we've got somebody designated to do that.
Yeah, that's
So
solid.
are you in this full time or not? Right?
How
That's
much
it.
effort are you putting into this company, basically? How much effort are you going to put into my wedding, right?
Exactly. That's
That's a good way to put it.
Are you working day in and day out? Like guys like us, man, they think, oh, DJ vendors, photographers, you guys are only working on the weekends. You guys are probably making
I
money
wish.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Most of us are in the office
weekends.
Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Man, I feel like
day.
I'd be working less, making more money if I was working a
Yep.
corporate job. But no, we're in here, we're working day and night to make sure your events are executed with perfection.
A corporate job sounds really good. I'm not even gonna lie, but if I didn't like what I was doing, I think with all of us, if we didn't like what we were doing, we
It would
would
be
not
really
be
tough
doing
to
Yeah,
do.
been there, done that. Not a fan of corporate world.
No, not, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not.
It's not for me.
Yeah, everybody is different, some people love it, some people don't, but you got to love what you do
Yeah.
here in order to really even be a part of this industry. Otherwise, it does become really tough, man. The hours are long. We never have time to for ourselves. How many times have we talked about, man, it's been such a crazy season, 2 weeks, phones off, everything's off, let's go out. And I'm always like, can't do it, bro. Get out.
Take a vacation, go somewhere. Like
It's so tough
even
to do.
get dinner with just 3 of us, we actually have to coordinate it.
We have to.
Like between client
We have
meetings
to
in the
reach to
evening.
Shiv's assistant. Hey, is that Shiv on the phone?
Come on, it's not like that.
Yeah, no, that's facts though. You know, it is tolling, and I do agree. Being a full time in the industry makes a huge difference
makes a
for
big
the wedding.
Anything you would like to say for aspiring DJs out there that are getting in this industry? Any wisdom?
If you're getting into this industry, make sure you're willing to sacrifice your weekends completely. Second, put time and effort into your craft. There's a lot of people out there that are blessed with the money, financials to go out and buy the equipment. Great, but actually spend hours practicing. Making sure you've got music, you know your music in and out. I mean, with me, I know when I'm queuing up my songs, I know where the drop is coming in, where the intro is, where the chorus is. I know my music in and out. You gotta learn, spend time, sit down. It's boring, but sit down somewhere, go through your library, cue everything up, and then practice. If you're not willing to, if there's a lot of people that say I practice at the events. Event is not practice time. That's game time. You got to put your time in on your own time before the event Practice, practice, practice. Make sure you really know what you're doing and your craft is good. Don't just call yourself a DJ because you've got the equipment. And there's nothing wrong with asking other companies or other experienced DJs. Some might say no. Some might say, no, I don't want to help you. But there's nothing wrong with getting advice from other people. Nowadays, we've got YouTube. You know,
Yeah, YouTube's a huge help.
YouTube. When I was coming in, YouTube was just getting introduced, right? And I didn't have a lot of people that wanted to help me. I had to make mistakes on mistakes on mistakes before I really got it down. I was lucky enough, and I'll shout him out here, DJ Lucky from, Platinum. He took the time out of his day. He gave me a 10, 15-minute lesson. He came to my house, gave me a 10, 15-minute lesson, told me, Shiv, here's how you mix. Here's what beat matching is. And that changed everything for me because I spent 4 hours a day after that every single day practicing. I would come home from school from 4:30. I would go straight to my room. I had a little controller set up over there, and every day I was just sitting there practicing 4 hours, different songs, different mixes. And that really opened up my hands, and it changed the whole outcome of the event.
Yeah, everything that you're doing behind the scenes has to show for what you're doing in front, right?
So spend time practicing. Don't be afraid to take advice from senior DJs.
And make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes.
Mistakes are
Learn from
huge,
it.
man.
You just said it yourself. You learned from your mistakes.
Big time.
So
try not to make mistakes at somebody's wedding, but
yeah,
make mistakes. It's gonna happen. It's
inevitable.
It's gonna happen.
Nothing
We're
you can do to
humans.
control it. But as long as you're learning from those mistakes and you're not repeating them, fine. If you're continue to make the same mistakes, you repeat the same mistakes,
DJ's not for you. Then.
DJing is not for you. Especially
that's with anything.
because we're talking about weddings right now, but even at clubs.
Yep.
Wedding, yeah, you've got your equipment, you've got entrances, you've got, everything is coordinated. That's really important. But at a club, think about it, even as a DJ, we're going in there at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and we're DJing till 3 in the morning, and it's straight party. You don't have dinner for an hour where you can chill. You don't have entrances and stuff where you're not really mixing. You're mixing DJing the entire 4 or 5 hours that you're there, and you got to keep that crowd engaged the entire time. So there's a lot of new DJs that come into the industry. They're like, yo, we don't want to do weddings. We don't want to do private events. We want to go straight into the clubs.
Yeah. You don't even get...
That's where you really got to know what you're doing. Because people can wing a private event, a graduation or stuff. You might not know how to mix, but you're good on the mic. You can still pick up the mic between each transition. You can still... Some people don't care if you mixed or not. They just want to hear the good songs. So you can get
just
away
like
with it at some private events, but you cannot get away with it at a club. The minute you start, if you can't mix two songs.
For a client, go to the club and look at the DJ. Watch
I
the
always
DJ.
tell my clients to come to the club. I know it's a really different environment, but I'm like, if your question is that you really want to see our skill as a DJ, come to the club.
If you're seeing aunties and uncles at the club, because Shiv invited them.
You're never too young, or you're actually too young to go to a club, but you're never too old to go to a club, right?
That's
All right. So I guess we're going to the club after this with Shiv.
I got to go back to the office.
All right, guys. So we had Shiv from Shivish Entertainment here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Any closing words, guys? Anything you guys want to add?
Book us for your next event.
If you have any ideas for next guests, put them in the comments. Email us, DM us, because we really want to have guests. It was a pleasure having you. It was really good talking to you.
Yeah.